who have been occupying the land for decades are now dreading what appears to be their inevitable displacement as eviction orders loom. The property, which holds a significant historical value as the first Rastafari tabernacle, was sold to foreign investors several years ago. Now, residents say they're being forced to leave their homes and livelihood without any confirmation for relocation.
We are only visited by the MP who operates as a Don, who acting, I don't know if he's acting on behalf of agencies, but he would have visited with different, at different time, indicating that persons will need to move because the place is up for development, nothing official.
Attorney at law representing the residents, Dr. Marcus Goff, slammed the proceedings, noting that the residents have rights to the land based on the decades they've been occupying and maintaining the property.
We need to stop having people think that only by land title you have land rights. That is totally wrong. Land title is only one of the means to have land rights. And if you have been in possession of land, even without a land title, for generations, you have land rights that court must respect, and that I think landowners must also respect.
He says he's unaware of any formal communication from the owners or the authorities instructing the residents to leave the property.
Nothing of the sort, except phone calls and threats and messages being sent, to intimidate the people to leave.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Mark Golding, in defending the residents, presented an alternative to eviction.
I think the approach must be one where the owners and their representatives and the community here have discussions about the possibilities of working together synergistically. It can enhance the value of this tremendously to both, all parties, because if a development is done nearby, which is tastefully done in keeping with the overall ambience and possibilities of this land, and working with the people who have been here for so long, who, as I'm saying, make sure when you walk here, no matter go up on your foot, because they're the ones who have cleaned this land and kept it the way it is now.
The residents say they're prepared to fight for their homes and the historical significance of the property. Veronique Bowen.
That various actions have been taken recently with a view to evicting them from this property. And as has happened before in other parts of Jamaica, these are people whose families have lived here for long periods of time. And he asked me to pay a visit, so I decided to pay a visit because this issue of land ownership and tenure is a big issue in the country at this time. It has been for a very long time, but it seems to be coming to a head. To kind of quietly find out what's going on, and spoke to some of the residents, looked through some of their papers. As you know, I'm an attorney myself, and I'm very concerned. Pretty good. So I was just scared. It's really just visiting.
Stand for the people that fought for this and built this and been here for years. I mean, people been here for 40 years, 50 years, and so forth. That been fighting for this with all of the problems and all of the things that people throw at them. So I think that they need to stop trying to take away the poor people things. Andrew Hollis need to fix his government, man. And like I said to you, it's not a political thing with me, but it's what I observe, that everywhere poor people find, and everywhere they try to find livelihood and try to fix it before they try to help them, they try to take it. It was a sad situation to know that the government of Jamaica trying to overtake everything, not even just Bob Marley Beach. I realize that this government that's in power, I'm not political, but this is my view, that I realize that this government that's in power, all they've been trying to do is take away everything that poor people has fought and gained. This place from all the way to the front, there's a fire named Gabby, which is Ras Gabby. These the one that cut out, use them cutlass and axe and cut out Kashamaka and come all the way around here till someone see. These are the people that has this beach, named it Bob Marley Beach. In fact, Bob Marley them used to keep bingy right here, so before anybody recognized it. So now why, when we building something, you want to take it? Why don't you want to enhance it and enhance the people? You want to take it and privatize everything like you're privatizing everything everywhere all over the place. I don't know what's wrong with the government, but
do a whole hard new world America. Stop cool. I said, no, this don't look good. Because you can't tell me to put this down here. This is not something to put down here, but we can lay down on it like a pillow. This is uncomfortable.
Sure, sure.
And I said, no, I have to jump up on a car. Malik, and I said to her, I said, they come and give us an eviction notice. She said, what?
For people to leave government land at Pleasant Hill and Providence districts in Lowersville, St. Catherine, has caught Prime Minister Andrew Holness's attention. He indicated in Parliament on Tuesday, October 11, that he and his cabinet are not directly involved in the serving of the notices. The National Land Agency, NLA, without any consultation or warning, delivered notices to more than 100 residents on October 6. It gave them 2 months to leave the property with their belongings or be removed forcibly. Some of the families have occupied sections of the property for more than 100 years. Their concern was raised in Parliament by the leader of opposition business, Philip Caldwell. He did so after the Prime Minister made a statement regarding the illegal occupation of government land in another section of St. Catherine known as Clifton. The Prime Minister and his cabinet have taken direct interest in the Clifton land issue, which he said is not linked to the one at Pleasant Hill in Lowersville.
So I've seen the issue for Lowersville. It is totally coincidental. It has nothing to do with this. The NLA, the HAJ, and other entities of government that hold a register of lands from time to time go about regularizing and rectifying communities that are irregularly settled. So that's just a part of that.
In relation to the Lowersville matter, Prime Minister Holness also downplayed the likelihood of people being thrown off the land. He noted that even if residents were to be relocated, there would have to be adequate public consultation and the provision of alternatives for the residents.
There is no coordination at this time to have any mass rectification of irregular settlements. However, it is based upon what has happened, I think it is quite timely that we take a serious look at this. And any engagement like that would obviously have to have enough time, public engagement, and we would have to provide the alternatives for people.
The residents have stated that prior to them receiving the eviction notices, the National Land Agency did not inform them that they would have to leave the land. In fact, the agency was doing quite the opposite, taking their documents and information, promising them titles for the property. Among those who applied prior to receiving an eviction notice is the man on your screen, Kenneth Bailey, who said his family has been occupying a piece of the government land in Lowersville for over 100 years.
And I born right in Providence, right over there, so in 1962. Born come see my grandfather, when he Simeon Graham, and my grandmother named Miss Blasselda Graham, that is his wife. And right over there, so the born and grown, run up and down from here to Lowersville. And I first, me never see this happen in our history, around here, so for us. Right now. And the whole of we around are desperate, so we don't know what is taking place upon us. And Father God, I don't know what we are going to do, and we get until the 6th of December to evacuate our land. And we don't have nowhere to go, and we write up some paper, flood the land fee, and all them want to do, come and cut up the land that we can get it. And they said they made a return back, and they return what we get, and this we get from them.
I live here so from my youth. I grew up, see my father live on this section here, island. And then come in the other day, come round, come count all the people them. Check up more people in that place, take up name and so forth, and say them are going to come and give away title for land. Everybody was so pleased and feel comfortable with it. Then all of a sudden, them come and show one piece of paper, say them are give it 2 months to come off island. Where are we gonna go? Yeah, where are we gonna go?
While the Prime Minister was in the lower house addressing the Lowersville issue, Member of Parliament for North West St. Catherine, where Lowersville is located, Hugh Graham, was elsewhere. He was in the community having his first public meeting with the residents who were served with the eviction notices 5 days earlier. Some of the residents sang Graham's praise and promised him political support as he collected and ripped to pieces some of the eviction notices served by the National Land Agency.
They get every application, everybody, me, collect them. They get them and they return letters at post office. Some people get and some don't get. I called the lady at land office, it's not Tisha. She said to me that no worry about it, so them send letter to show that they get the applications and they are processing them. So but whenever time now the surveyor will be coming up, they will notice us. And this is the survey.
This got me in this now news.
So when the man come and give out those, I ask him,
Waste on waste, government.
what is this for? He said to me, say, put it up here.
Back in Parliament, the Prime Minister was making Author General. During that meeting, he collected and ripped to pieces some of the notices served on the residents. Before we tell you more about that,